Nearly a kilogram of gold is the result of 3 months of hard work by Dustin's 4-person team. Now they have cleared all the gold from the Rockfall Canyon dive site. To continue their gold rush they need a new dive spot. Upstream of McKinley Falls is the Rockfall Canyon they emptied, and further upstream is a fast channel created by narrow rock walls. They call this the Notch dive site. The canyon width is only 2.4 meters. The creek water is squeezed through here, increasing the flow rate 3 times. Such a high flow rate means the gold has no chance to settle, but there is one exception. If it's deep enough here and the bottom is full of giant boulders, these stones would slow the current and form a barrier, which could trap the gold nuggets in the water. Dustin doesn't believe there are big rocks underwater to help them intercept the gold, but his team wants to try, so they send Carlos down to dive to the bottom and find evidence of gold. Carlos performed a frog roll and tumbled into the water. At the bottom he saw a boulder field, including some giant stones, and these stones were tightly packed together. It seems this dive spot is a place they can start mining, but due to the rapid current Carlos was swept downstream, bumping into many stones along the way, which made him yelp in pain. Finally he got stuck under the dredge boat. Dustin and James pulled him out from under the boat together. Although Carlos got a thrill of extreme rafting, he still believes there might be gold at the bottom, and the rapid water flow here prevented old miners from working this location, so ancient gold nuggets must still be sealed in place. The next day they started solving the problem of difficult diving. First they had to build a plank road to the entry point so the divers wouldn't have to swim against the current. After the plank road was built they also installed rope anchors on the rock wall to set up safety ropes to prevent team members from accidentally falling into the river. When everything was ready on the third day it was the turn of the least experienced James to officially dive for gold. Carlos secured James with a safety rope anchored to the rock wall and led him to the entry point. During James' dive Carlos acted as the dive tender, watching James' safety rope to prevent him from being swept away by the current. After James stabilized his position underwater he started working, using the suction hose to dig down to see if there was gold at the bottom. James sucked and dug in this turbulent channel for 3 hours straight. Finally Dustin ordered an end to today's diving operation. James dug the dive hole to 1.5 meters deep in a single dive, which exceeded Dustin's expectation, and most importantly whether this place can actually yield gold.
Oh, there's gold! That's a nice little nugget.
Dustin didn't expect gold to appear here. Previously he thought there were no big rocks underwater and the depth was only half a meter deep, but the facts proved him wrong. Now they have found a new dive spot and have confirmed there is gold below. The next day it was Dustin's turn to dive. His life would be in James' hands via the safety rope. Dustin dove headfirst into the water and started sucking and digging, but soon he was swept away by the current. James held tightly to the safety rope, but Dustin was too heavy. Both of them called for Carlos to help.
Oh crap!
Dustin was hanging face down in the narrow channel. He finally got support from Carlos. Carlos clipped onto Dustin's safety rope and used all his strength to haul Dustin onto the ladder. This dive was exhausting for Dustin and also scared him. He believes it's not worth risking his life to dig for gold here. After thinking about it all night, Dustin told his team his thoughts early the next morning. The current speed at the Notch dive site is too fast. It will be very dangerous. It's not worth risking their lives for a bit of gold, so they won't arrange a dive today. Instead they will go upstream to look for a new dive spot. The group hiked over mountains and ridges looking for unmined areas, passing the homes of Big Bear and 2 bears along the way. Black bears and grizzly bears inhabit this area. As winter approaches the bears become extremely active because they are frantically fattening up for hibernation, so the team must remain vigilant for bears at all times, and Dustin needs a dive spot that has not been visited by old miners, where they can safely dive and mine gold in the remaining month. Finally they came to a place full of giant boulders. Some stones were as big as houses. They also saw no signs of artificial mining nearby, no anchor points or anything. Dustin is sure that a huge pile of gold is still sealed underwater, because based on his experience at Rockfall Canyon, every time they moved a stone a pile of gold nuggets was pressed underneath. If they dig up a stone as big as a house, the gold pressed underneath will definitely be even more. When gold flows downstream it hits the giant boulders, the water flow slows down, the gold settles, and the stones become traps to catch the gold nuggets, and the settled gold accumulates into piles over time. But organizing this location into a suitable dive spot is a massive project. Many stones need to be blasted and they need a helicopter to transport equipment for them. There is only 1 month left until winter, so changing locations now is simply not realistic. So this location can only be a backup option. After spending a day out and filling 1 episode's content, they still return to the Notch dive site. Having no other choice, Dustin dove back into the water to mine gold. This time Carlos and James together guarded Dustin's safety rope, ready to pull Dustin out of the turbulent water at any time. As expected, Dustin couldn't even stand steady for a second after entering the water and was swept away by the current again. Luckily this time 2 people were holding him. After he stabilized his body he could finally start mining gold. The stones he dug up were directly tossed downstream. He ended today's dive not long after starting. Without exception gold appeared today too. It's clear the gold here is easy to dig. Maybe the money he earned from earlier mining made Dustin less serious than when he first started, but now with only 1 month left he is no longer half-hearted about changing locations.